You've heard this name echo through the basketball sphere for years, World Wide Wes. He's currently a senior VP for the Knicks. But did you know about the myth and legend of maybe the most powerful man in basketball? Let me break it down. In the early 80s, he was simply known as Fresh Wes because he was the guy to lace Philly's biggest names with the freshest sneakers. That includes 76ers greats like Dale Dawkins, aka Chocolate Thunder, and Doug Collins. It was there where Wes built relationships with the who's who of the Philly basketball scene. After a few years, Fresh Wes was looking to go worldwide, so he bounced from Philly with his best friend Milt Wagner, who played for Louisville at the time. Milt makes the NBA, and sometime during the late 80s, early 90s, he gives Wes his big break by putting him in the same room with a player you might have heard of, Michael Jordan. Clearly, knowing Black Jesus opens up all kinds of doors for you because after that, Wes was virtually everywhere. You'd see him in locker rooms, courtside at games, even dapping up the President of the United States. Shout out to you, Bill Clinton, man of the culture. That's right, this man went from peddling sneakers in Philly to having the leader of the free world make a beeline to him just to say what up. Worldwide Wes indeed. If you haven't gotten it by now, Worldwide Wes is a big deal. Here's just a small sample of all the power moves he's responsible for. He's the one that introduced LeBron to Jay-Z. He also facilitated LeBron's move from his old agent, Aaron Goodwin, to Leon Rose. He's responsible for bringing the biggest high school phenoms to Kentucky. Allegedly though, allegedly. He was on the court during Malice at the Palace and shielded Ron Artest from all that crazy stuff being thrown at him. Somehow he ended up on the field after the Cowboys won the Super Bowl to give Jerry Jones a hug. Not just that, let's take it back a few years. He was the one that cleaned up Allen Iverson's mess that he got himself into with the weed and the gun and you know what I'm talking about. We're not speaking about that. Fast forward to 2012, he's responsible for the #1 and #2 pick in the NBA draft, and of course, both of them Kentucky boys. Shout out Coach Cal. He's also a good Samaritan because he saved an unnamed NBA player from getting killed for owing an obscene amount of money to some really serious gentlemen gambling with Michael Jordan. He called Jay-Z and Beyonce for a very young pre-NBA Leandro Barbosa and had him rap Hard Knock Life for him, just so he can get in his good graces. Speaking of Jay-Z, got a shout out on one of his tracks, and of course, Drake name dropped him on one of the better diss tracks in recent times. So if we're talking about GOATs in the game, you gotta pay homage and respect to Wes and the legacy he's built.